This year, both students and teachers have had to navigate multiple learning platforms like a maze. Our top story asks the question, are we a grade behind?
I'm sure that we are behind in curriculum content, there's no doubt.
We'll also take a look at the modified 2021 BCSC prom. Was it a success?
We'll crash into an issue in every high school across America, the parking lot.
I don't think the parking lot is very safe because there are people going in and out, especially underclassmen that just got their license. Some of them do not know how to drive very well.
Saying goodbye to a legend, we'll take a look back at the career of the Hall of Fame coach, Coach Gaddis.
The passion that he had for the game, the spirit he had for the game, that's something I'm going to miss.
All this and more on Torch TV.
Hello and welcome to the first ever East Media live stream of Torch TV. I'm Kyle Roberson, a senior at Brown County High School.
And I'm East Senior Maddie Uphouse. Our media crew involves students from Seymour, Brown County, Edinburgh, North Decatur, South Decatur, Columbus North, and Columbus East.
Torch TV is a magazine-style show that covers news and events from around the entire East Media community. We are excited to share the show with you. So, Maddie, let's get into it.
COVID-19 has affected our lives for over a year now. Many students have fallen behind academically and emotionally, which leads us to the question, are we a grade behind? Our very own junior Eli Pollitt joins us in the studio with more.
Students all over the world have had to deal with major changes this school year. For BCSE, whether it was block scheduling, hybrid, or e-learning, nothing has been the same. COVID-19 has wrecked everyone's year. District-wide, both teachers and students are struggling to keep up with the state standards.
We need to be considering kind of two things. One, what is the teacher presenting them? I mean, is that at the best that they can do? And also on the flip side of it, what about the students? How are they engaging with that material? What are they learning and what are they taking away from that?
Yes, I think we've done as good a job as we can under the circumstances. So it's always a push to get all your curriculum done at the end of the year anyway, according to state standards, but this year's definitely been more of a challenge.
E-learning and hybrid has caused teachers to miss out on valuable time teaching. This has pushed teachers to cover content in different ways.
Personally, I'm behind where I normally am at this time of the year, but I've tried to make it less about checking off boxes and more about filling them in, if that makes sense. So, you know, okay, we didn't get to read this novel and this novel and this novel, but hopefully we went into a lot of depth with that one and practiced all these standards with this one and just making the best of what we can with it.
Most of the stuff that you see one year will come up again in a future year, and so if there were little gaps that were created, I think that those gaps will be identified in future courses.
Some teachers have concerns about testing this year because COVID and online learning has taken a toll on many students. The standardized testing will remain just as difficult as previous years.
Standardized testing this spring is scary for all of us. Yeah, the year has been crazy, and to expect students to do well on those standardized tests is kind of nonsense to me.
But for AP test, all teachers don't think the same.
Specifically when it comes to AP courses, I think it's very fair to expect those students to be able to learn effectively from home and still be held to the same high standards.
Students and teachers have also been affected in non-academic ways this year.
I just wonder more about how we're going to come out of this and all still be okay next year too. Academically, of course, but then also just mentally, emotionally as well.
I think overall students are falling behind because this year's learning style has been such an adjustment for them.
So Eli, do you think there's been a lack of motivation causing students' grades to slip due to COVID?
Yes, Mrs. Callison said that she has seen overachieving students be satisfied with barely getting by.
While in school during an ongoing pandemic, teachers have been forced to change their teaching styles. Whether it be online or extending their deadlines, teachers try to consider what will keep their students engaged. Some teachers are still ahead academically with getting their lesson plans completed, but now teachers are falling behind due to changes in scheduling. Teachers are doing everything they can to get their students ready and get the work done, as well as preparing them for upcoming years.
Showing what I'm doing on my screen, as well as talking the students through everything. That's a good strategy for students who are absent, that what happened in class that day is recorded.
One thing that I've really taken away is making sure everything is posted online and clear. I think that's a really good habit to have, because then you don't even have to have those conversations. You don't have to lose valuable time in the classroom catching other people up.
I think everyone has found his or her own way to make it work. I think it's been challenging for everyone, but I know everyone, students and teachers, are just doing the very best they can.
Even if teachers are behind, they still try to get most of their units in. It has been hard for all of us at East, as well as the rest of BCSC and other school districts. We are all working hard and we are doing a great job getting through the school year. We will get through this one step at a time.
Coming up after the break, look at the 2021 BCSC prom and how it went with many new guidelines.
And our very own Carson Shoup will look into a problem for all student drivers, the parking lot. All this and more coming up on Torch TV.
Suicide. 1. If I ask someone if they're suicidal, it will enable them. That's not true. Talking to someone is the first step to saving a life. 2 is that people kill themselves with no warning. In reality, there's always warning signs, you just need to look for them. 3, that once I'm suicidal, I'm always suicidal. No, there's always a chance to get help, and there's always a chance to get better. Ignorance hurts. If you or someone you love is struggling with suicidal thoughts, call the National Suicide Hotline that you see on the screen.
Prom was a few weeks ago, and the opinions were mixed. Precautions were taken to have a fun, safe school dance where seniors were happy that prom was able to happen. Instead of the Commons, prom was held at Northside Middle School football field for social distancing and lesser risk of getting COVID. Masks were required, as well as a limited supply of tickets. Most of the students were fine with having prom, even if it was different from years previous. Congratulations to all the BCSC proms, kings, and queens, including our very own East, Anna, and Pravan, along with the rest of our prom court.
Attention seniors, you will lose all access to your Google Drive come July 1st. If you have important documents or any other items that you want to keep, make sure to transfer them over to another device or a personal account.
Attention juniors, would you like to help next year's freshmen? If you answered yes, please consider applying to be a peer mentor. Peer mentors will assist in freshman advisory classes next year. For more information or the application, stop by the Counseling Center. All applications are due by tomorrow.
It's the end of the year and graduation is almost upon us. This year with COVID, graduation is going to be different. The ceremony is not going to be held at the gym this year. Students will instead go out to the football field. Seats will be in a row 3 feet apart in order to practice social distancing. Students will also enter the football field from the sides instead of walking down the central aisle. Students will also be asked to maintain social distancing guidelines throughout the ceremony. Though graduation is in a different place, much of it will still be the same.
As opposed to the gym. So in my time here, we've not hosted a graduation outside, so that's the main difference. However, I feel like much of it will be the same as far as the acknowledgement of the graduates and reading the names and then walking across the stage, etc.
Isaiah R. Borrego.
East is a school that pushes to keep students safe, but one place that is always dangerous for students and staff is the parking lot. With lots of new drivers, it's difficult to keep accidents from occurring.
Chaotic. As the 3:15 bell rings and school lets out, students scramble to their cars to go home. This creates a massive problem for inexperienced drivers.
I don't think the parking lot is very safe because there are people going in and out, especially underclassmen that just got their license. Some of them do not know how to drive very well.
New drivers may lack the awareness necessary to maintain their own safety and that of the other students. They may be prone to speeding, neglecting turn signals, texting friends, or worrying more about their music selection rather than the security of other students.
If someone got their driver's license at 16, we have people that have been driving for a very short time. Parking lots, while there's no posted speed limit, everyone's expected to drive with due regard.
While newly licensed drivers pose a threat to everyone's well-being, seniors have only had an extra 2 years to perfect their road skills.
There's a lot more students than there are staff. And so in order to have a really safe parking lot, everyone's going to have to do their part.
Defensive driving is the best method for preventing accidents that happen as a result of rushing. Some students put themselves and others at risk by hurrying to make it to class or extracurricular activities on time. Administrators have considered allowing students to leave in groups to fix this problem.
Everybody parks wherever they want, wherever there's a spot. So like releasing in groups, everybody may be grouped together, so it's not going to make it any more efficient. If it were like one-way parking, like it's angled spots, then kids could only go one way, but everybody likes to walk down the middle of it. You're always swerving to avoid kids not paying attention.
The majority of accidents observed within the parking lot do not result in serious injury. However, playing bumper cars should be reserved for fair rides only.
I have seen the occasional fender bender out there, and I remember one time I saw one happen in like slow motion. I tried to get the girl to stop and didn't get stopped right quite enough, but the bumpers did absorb it, so it wasn't one that had damage with, but we do have a lot of young drivers out there, so that is a concern.
In the event that something should happen or go wrong, rather than panicking and fleeing the scene, a school resource officer is always available for assistance.
When I'm on foot, people don't necessarily know that I'm there, which is part of the reason that I'm on foot, is just to be paying attention. And if people are doing what they should be doing, then they don't get extra attention from me. So be patient with one another and slow down. That's my humble advice.
According to the National Safety Council, there are an average of 50,000 parking lot crashes in the U.S. each year, with the top 2 causes of accidents being distracted drivers and drivers being in too much of a hurry.
Play through all the ups and downs of the football game. It's going to be a 48-minute physical game. Make it physical. Believe in each other.
We will tackle the legacy of the Hall of Fame coach Bob Gaddis and hear from other coaches on the program and traditions he leaves behind. All this and more on Torch TV.
Has not only been an inspirational leader on the field, but an incredibly influential figure throughout the East community.
Professional. I think Bob Gaddis is a consummate professional.
Obviously a Hall of Famer, somebody that I've been blessed to been around.
He's a high character and high character guy, and he likes to do things the right way.
A great coach, a great family man, just an all-around great person.
Bob Gaddis has dedicated his life to being a high school football coach, but to some, he means more than just a coach.
I value his friendship, that he's first class at everything he does, and he cares about everybody.
You know, his support of me when I took this position and just helped me develop and become a better person, better athletic director.
He kind of gave me my first shot of coaching when he was down in Evansville at Evansville Rights. For me, as a person, he's kind of like a father figure.
There are many ways people can help out in the community. Coach Gaddis has done just that on and off the field during his time at Columbus East.
The way he's done that is, we try to do things the right way. We, do what champions do, work wins, East Pride, that, all that stuff that goes into it. I think he's given our community, a group of young men that are not only successful on the field, but also off the field and do things the right way.
Well, he's worked really hard at trying to get football to be meaningful in Columbus. And by going as far as we have in the tournaments and winning state titles and everything, he's put Columbus on the map.
Over Coach Gaddis' 20-year span here at Columbus East, he has won a total of 212 games, winning 11 sectional championships, 10 regional championships, 3 semi-state championships, and 2 state titles.
One of my favorite games was when we were playing North, and then it got rain shortened. We had to go home that night, come back the next day and finish the game. And And it was a great game. And just to see them bounce back and come back and win it the next day was fun to see that.
Beating Cathedral to get to the state championship, that semi-state game where the Olympians went out and they took care of business.
Probably the thing that I'm happiest about for Bob is, being, coaching for over 40 years, that first state championship in 2013, us getting there and kind of getting over the hump, and then, getting that win for him after kind of devoting his life to football and kind of shaping young men. That to me was real special.
Joining us now in the studio is East Media's senior Malachi Parks. Malachi, you have been a part of many great teams during your time here at East, and this was the last quarterback for Coach Gaddis. What is your favorite memory with him?
Probably my favorite memory was this year's North game. It was the first time beating North in over 4 years, so being able to lead the game-winning drive, throw the game-winning touchdown pass, run over to the sidelines and celebrate with him, that's something that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
Many great players have played for Coach Gaddis, but you were his last quarterback to play for him. What does Coach Gaddis mean to you?
He means a lot to me. He's made me a better person, a better football player, and I think all of us that's played under Coach Gaddis can thank him for everything he's done for us. For me especially, he's allowed me to play college football and further my football career at the next level.
Thanks, Malachi. Coach Gaddis has definitely left a lasting impact on Columbus
Maddie,
East.
sounds like Coach Gaddis had some big shoes to fill.
For sure. But Coach Vogel has been here for a long time, and I'm sure he's ready for the job. Looking forward to football season.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's all we have for today. For Maddie, Eli, Joycey, and the rest of the East Media crew, remember to take care of yourself and others at school.
And as always, try to be the best part of someone's day. Thanks for watching.